Hey, good morning. I have a question from Gretchen Parker, and she asked, basically, once I lost 100 pounds, how did I stay focused to lose the other part of it, the other half of it? And how do I stay motivated? Because, losing that large amount of weight is hard. So I will say, for me, when I hit the 92-pound loss, that's when my stall started. I had lost 92 pounds while I was carnivore, and I hit a stall, and I was in that Facebook group for carnivores, and so many people were talking about how some people had a 2-year stall. One lady had a 5-year stall. And so it was very common for people to have long stalls. So I wasn't very stressed about it. And then I had also been watching Kim Howerton about that time frame. So for me, at that 92 pound, which is close enough to 100, is whenever I had to make a change, because I had stalled for so long and I was tired of just being at that same weight loss. So I made a change, and for me, making that change was changing to keto and counting calories. I was still meat focused, so I still had a lot of meat, but then I also had some vegetables. And that's, for me, that was enough of a change, enough of a distraction, because then I had to learn something totally different than I shouldn't say totally, but I had to learn something different than what I was doing. I was still doing the meal prep every weekend, but I no longer was just doing meat. And I now had more options when I went to the restaurants. And I no longer had to have guilt if I ate a bite of somebody's salad or broccoli. So for me, that big change in how I was eating was a big motivator. So that's why I say the way you eat when you first start out is not necessarily going to be how you're going to eat when you end. Meaning, like for me, I went from keto to carnivore to keto and counted calories. Somebody else, it might be, you do keto all the way up to the last 20 pounds and then you decide you have to count calories. Or you do carnivore and then all of a sudden you get tired of it or whatever and decide, I think I want to add veggies back just for whatever reason. So and not only that, but you can't eat 2,000 calories. You can eat 2,000 calories and be 300 pounds and lose weight, but you can't be, in theory, you won't eat 2,000 calories and be 120 pounds and lose weight. So many people talk about my meals and they're like, oh my gosh, how do you eat that much food? And because so much of it is vegetables. But anyway, my motivation was looking at that scale. I couldn't look at that in-game weight so much. I mean, I had it in the back of my head, but for me, it was each week getting on that scale. All right, down a pound. Yes. You obsess over that scale. And so, I obsessed over the scale. I need to say I. So I obsessed over that scale. So once I hit that 100-pound loss, once I got to that, it's like, oh, man, now I just need to lose 70 more. And so I kind of had to make a game of it in my head every day, every week, stepping on that scale. Ooh, it's down another pound, cha-ching. And then the motivation was going to the thrift store, because that's where I was shopping, going to the thrift store and saying, oh, these size 16s are too loose. I need a pair of 14s now. Now, I don't know what weight I was when I was wearing those, but I just mean in general, was going into the thrift store and being able to try on a different size and different brands. And then I started seeing brand names that I could never wear at 300 pounds. Like, I had to wear I get the stores mixed up, but I had to wear CJ Banks. And so all of a sudden I could wear Christopher and Banks. Or I could all of a sudden wear Gloria Vanderbilt. I was able to wear something Forever 21 sizes. So for me, it was little things like that were like the motivator. It's like, oh, hey, I can wear these clothes. Hey, I could, if I wanted to, which I hate shopping, we know that. I could walk into any store now in the mall and buy something off the rack. And so, it's little things like that that you have to keep yourself, you have to dangle carrots like that in front of yourself, throughout your journey. But for me, I also knew I liked Carnivore. And, at the 92-pound weight loss mark, I liked Carnivore. I liked, how I had lost weight. I liked the simplicity of it, the lack of not having to cook anything every day. I enjoyed that. But I also really knew it was not fun when I was around my family. It was not fun, if I were to have gone on the cruise while I was carnivore, it would not have been very easy. So then it was, once I found something that I had to focus on, what can I do for the rest of my life? And for me, eating meat, cheese, eggs, veggies, and some fruit, I can do that. That's not a problem. I don't miss, like, our coworkers the other day was like, well, would you take a bite of this? Or what about, wouldn't you want to taste some ice cream from such and such store? No, I don't miss it. I don't want it. Yeah, I'm nervous about how I would be afterwards, but I don't crave it. So why even think about it? So the way I'm eating now is a realistic way that I can eat for the rest of my life. So for me, it's a matter of focusing on finding something I can do forever, because I see my healthy coworkers and I see what they're cooking. Now, granted, they are adding things that I don't add, and that's okay. But I see that every week they do meal prep. Every week they pack up their work lunches. So I see that and I'm like, okay, that is how a healthy person lives. So that's how I've been able to maintain my mojo, and because I've been looking at watching closely my healthy coworkers, and I watch and see what healthy people do, and healthy people don't binge on things, and healthy people eat the way they eat, and then they allow themselves things once in a while. And that's what I've done. So I've just retrained my brain to where this is how a healthy person eats. I want to be a healthy person. I want to live for these little, I know you can't see them, but I want to live for my little furry faces. One of my coworkers said, oh, if you ever die, I get Sammy. I'm like, and she's like, I said, well, only if you let him live in the house. No, he can't live in the house. Then I ain't dying, because you can't have my Sammy. So that's my motivator, because one of my coworkers is going to try to take Sammy and make him live out in a dadgum 6x6 fenced in area, cage. No, Jessica, you can't have him, because I'm going to live. I'm going to outlive this boy. So that's my motivation, is my puppy dogs. And, I didn't want to die before my mom. And so, yeah, that's it. And that's how I've stayed maintained, is like just focusing on learning the food. It's a really good distraction, learning what foods I could eat for 20 carbs, learning how much I could eat for, 1,800 calories or whatever I was doing in that moment, making that my focus instead of, I want to go back to the old way of eating, because I don't like how I felt then. I like how I feel now. And I like being able to walk around. This is terrible. This is the vanity side. I like when people say, oh, girl, you've lost weight. Yeah, I have. Or on my phone, I have a picture of my before and after. It's kind of a reminder for me. But it's also when somebody's like, girl, how much have you lost? Or somebody talks about, whatever. Because a coworker come in my office yesterday on this picture of that. I have a magnet of Dr. Now from My 600-Pound Life. And he says, you're not going to starve. And she saw that. She's like, okay, what is the story behind this magnet? I said, pa-pow. And I showed her my phone. Here's the picture I use for the background on my phone, so I always remember. So for vanity reasons, to be able to show that picture and be like, look at here, look, this was me. And also you all have been a huge motivator, because I'm able to show and share with you all how I did it, and I'm able to share with you it can be done. And through my whole channel, you can see the struggles in the old time and how I'm doing it now. So whichever you need to see, it's all out there. So you all have been a huge part of my success through the comments you've made all along, and through the questions you've had, and knowing that if I mess up, there are 6,000 people, almost 6,000 people, who are going to be like, another one bites the dust. And I don't want to be another one that failed. And I want to show everybody who watches my channel that we can succeed. And we can change our mindset to, well, I'm just a fat person who loves food. No, you're not. And you don't have to be unless you want to be. If you want to get out of that, you can. So that's another huge part of my motivation is sharing with you all my journey and knowing that, there's people out there who are struggling like I was and who can now see that, no, you don't have to forever. It's not a life or death sentence. This is not a death sentence to live. It is a life sentence, and you have to make it about life. So, okay, I know, it's a long video. Bye.